All right, questions for Hunter Duplessis? Greg?
Hunter, how you doing today?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about just to start off, like an overview, how is spring going for you guys so far? What's your impressions of the group?
It's going great. We have a great group dynamic, and guys really came out to work. That's the temperament and get better. Although we had a great season last year, we're looking forward into the things that we can be working on because none of that stuff impacts us on our next snap, next hold, next kick, next punt. So we're looking to better ourselves, and that's a great mentality going into the spring, and I'm excited.
You are one of 12 guys who chose to come back for the extra year, the senior group who's returning for that super senior season. What's this sort of attitude or mentality from that group of players at this time of the year?
At this time of the year, it's really culture and building a culture that will remain here after we're long gone and bring our kids to UTSA football games. And that's something that I wanted to be a part of personally, looking back on the legacy of UTSA football and being so proud to know that we're the guys who made the change happen. And we're at the grassroots level, changing people for the better and installing these culture pillars that we have today and really pounding it in the heads of our younger guys and allowing them to grow and figure themselves out as young men. So that's the real motivation, is people more than football for me.
Yeah, Coach Traylor said, really, even going back to the fall, that the guys who were going to return would be guys who would raise the culture to another level. How do you do that? How do you sort of embody taking that culture to the next step? What does that look like?
I believe that it begins with doing the right things when no one's looking, because you never know who's actually looking. And that's a big part of being a good teammate, but taking a step farther when others aren't following along with our culture and what we believe in, being able to get on them in a polite way or a way in which you think they will respond to. It doesn't necessarily mean being super hard on them, but also having the courage and the boldness to call them out and say, hey, that's not what we do. We don't walk off the football field. Hey, that's not what we do. We give perfect effort and everything, and you quit on that rep, obviously. So being able to say those things to your fellow teammates and bring them higher and bring them along with you is really how you get that done in the locker room, on the field, and really in life.
When you were making your decision, what factors did you have to weigh as to whether you wanted to come back or not?
Well, everybody likes telling you how great of a season it was and how great you did, but I saw that there were improvements to be made, and there was no better team to come back to than UTSA football. So to have the ability to improve on my craft with the people that I love, a coaching staff that I love, it was hands down, I'm coming back no matter what. Also, I'm employed in town, and my wife is working here in town. So there were a lot of things in place that gravitated me to stay in San Antonio and further my career at UTSA football.
What are you doing for work now?
I'm an IT systems administrator intern over at Southwest Business Corporation. I've been working there since, I believe it was October of last year. And so I've been interning for them all throughout the end of last season and winter break and into now into spring ball. And I really enjoyed over there. I mean, they've given me nothing but the best opportunities to learn and be comfortable in my career field overall.
How demanding is that in terms of the hours you have to put in or that commitment to make that happen?
It's a lot. I work typically 35 plus hours a week. So it's a full-time job on top of the full-time football job I already have and school. Mainly it takes a lot of budgeting my time. I never waste a minute. I'm very intentional with my time, and that helps me prevent stress and built up anxieties that might occur with such a load on my plate. But they also work with my schedule extremely well, which is why I took the position. And my manager allows me to leave for the football meetings when I need to, as long as I'm getting the work done that is required of me and I'm meeting expectations overall. So, I mean, a little bit of both budgeting, time management, and also them working with me so well.
How about from the academic side? Do you have a lot of class hours on top of that, or where are you at with that process right now?
So I'm in 4 master's classes right now, trying to get my MBA here. And that's another job in itself. And I've learned that it takes a lot of time and dedication because a lot of the times when you get done with a day of football and a day in the office, you don't necessarily want to go home and do schoolwork, but it's necessary. And not just going through the motions, getting yourself to take the notes necessary and getting yourself to study the criteria that's going to be maybe on your next exam is really important. And school is something I've always held close to my heart. I love it, which is another reason I came back, because I didn't mind the school portion. And I love my professors. So having a commitment to that is just as big as the job and just as big as the football piece overall.
When would you be on track to complete that degree? How far can you get this year?
I can get it done this year. I'm not sure if I am going to, because again, it is a lot. Looking into the summer, I have the potential to take 4 classes, yes, but I'm kind of going career oriented this summer, where I would like to further my knowledge in cybersecurity and management information systems. So the best way to do that for me personally would be to really invest in my internship and pick up different responsibilities and tasks in SWBC. And I think that's going to help me more with budgeting my time again and making sure that I'm doing the things necessary to set myself up in the future for a successful career path.
So now, even going through this spring and juggling all that, what do you want to get out of this time, and what does the team want to get out of this time from a football perspective?
I think it's just the improvements, because you're not going to make major adjustments in season. That is for this season overall. And while we would like to make some adjustments and tweaks here and there once some issues arise, because they sure will come the first day, the opening game, but we don't want to be making these major adjustments. So I feel like everybody has an open mindset going into this, a learner's mindset, if you will, to where we're breaking everything down and rebuilding it from the bottom. So that open mindset is the key to spring ball, and basically self-development would be the theme.
Is that process a little bit easier just because of the experience level being as high as it is with the group?
I would say yes, because less frustration comes with it as you've done it before. Spring ball can be frustrating for a kicker because everybody wants to tell you how great of a season you had, but you understand that changes must be made in order for us to move forward and to get as close to perfection as possible. Even though we know perfect is impossible, you try to get as close as possible. So some of our younger guys grasping the concept of starting all over, breaking down your form and how you see kicking and how you kick the football is important. And it's important to not get so emotionally involved. And that's something I'm really trying to bring along and foster in the group, is that healthy fear of failure, but be willing to fail in spring.